Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovative, and amazing, spectacular, wondrous Propagandacast from your host, ImperialDane, the one, the only master of propaganda, hero of sight, defender of the fatherland, off here to a 1v1 on Nexus. In the east, it is Zero, fighting for king country, the Commonwealth, the British Army, rolling out here with the Guards Armour Division with tactical support, featuring field recovery operation, designated command vehicle, air resupply operations, crocodiles, and the forward observation post here. Thus, in the west, it is the ImperialDane himself, fighting for the German army, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the... let's just go with 9th Panzer Division here with German infantry, featuring the 250-1 half-tech, veteran squad leaders, stormtroopers. Assault and hold and fragmentation bomb with half-tech double panzer grenades versus anti-tank double infantry. Grenadier MD-42 Pioneers starting south to your first see there, seeing the Brits. I base inside. I could fight over that, but typically trying to fight the Brits head on early game tends not to be the winning strategy. So just head northwards where he's already got troops. In fact, he's gone for an early medic squad here, and I can see some more territory in the early game. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons and supporters. Without this, I've not been able to do what I do. So do consider pledging and Patreon yourself. Or you can always just donate. Links in the description. Also, comment, like, share, and subscribe. Press the bell button. All the stuff there so YouTube doesn't bury me beneath a ton of other videos. Troops in north of the MD-42 Pioneers backing up here. Grenadiers following up as well. Of course, force to switch out there. Since again, I think if I to push in, then more troops would arrive and just get buried and not make any progress. MD-14 for northern viewpoint there. Grenadiers been in there, and the Pioneers grabbing here. So Olon, I'm definitely falling behind Syria here already, since he can just grab all the territory he wants to. And of course, I barely been getting anything. So, bit of a rough start for me. Definitely not the smoothest start there. Vickers following up there for Zero. Don't deal with my troops. Northern fuel point there, starting seas. Grabbing the points there. Second Grenadiers got rhyming here, heading southwards. Shots fired up here. Grenadiers falling back in face of the sections. And again, versus heavy cover in section. They got no cover, so it's not going to be a winning engagement there for me. So again, a lot of the time as the bits, it's about deciding when and where to fight, and if you can't win the fight, just, try not to bother. Obviously, some maps, this is easier said than done. Nexus, I suppose, is thankfully one of the maps where it's more easily actually done than said. Sectioning about, they're going to come close to each other. I'm going to go for another MD-42. I prefer the double Grenadier, double MD-42 opening, which is, I suppose, a bit more my own style. Sandbags in the center, obviously, no others go for it, but I think I'm the only one that consistently goes for it. We got the take up there for Zero. May go for fast bolts, some may go for fast sappers, or maybe try and rush on AC. Second MD-42 halfway done here, bit of skirmishing in the south. Keeping MD-42 up north, since we do expect pushes for the northern field point here for him. Plus, with the second MD-42 out, I can afford to leave one machine gun parked out, as the other MD-42 then supports my troops in more fluid action. Medics moving in there, and they will certainly find that there's no mercy for those chaps since they're carrying pistols. And they're going for them up. Doesn't get to suppress them, but they are pushed out nonetheless. Grab the southern point here. Second infantry arriving, taking up there for me. Back in Zero's base, we got nothing further happening. It remains a bit quiet there. The only thing that is brewing is the tea kettle. And they're going for me out to this thing southwards as well, hoping that he's focusing too much in the centre to leave a significant force to defend the south. Officers on the way here for Zero, definitely a bit of a thing to see there. Most British players at this point just chuck out a lot of sections, but Zero's obviously favouring a slightly different tactic and strategy. Section of his Grenadiers here need to fall back behind the wall so they can't shoot at them. Infantry down here. Section in the south there. Bit of a target, still denying fuel. That said, Zero here definitely moves around here to flank me from the north, which could definitely leave me in a very awkward position. Machine gun holding up here. Moving into Raf Grenade, and apparently Zero here is not paying attention, getting me a full wipe there in the early game. Certainly helps offset the lack of resources there early on, that I get a full wipe in this section. Zero there was apparently not paying attention. Definitely a dangerous mistake to make around Grenadiers. Since while they do not have a lot going for them at the moment, Raf Grenades are definitely one of the ways you can punish an opponent for not paying attention with the unit in that cover. Or no cover. Vickers here caught though by the Pioneers, gonna have to fall back with that one. Officer those out, and we even got the sappers out here, the Fleet Royal Engineer Recovery Squad, probably helping up for the losses there. Section engaged with the Grenadiers. Quickly getting upper hand here versus Zero in terms of map control. Pioneers routed here. I imagine we might be seeing an armoured car soon here from Zero to try and turn the game around to that one. Grenadiers in trouble. Definitely extended a bit too much there. Bit of a mistake by me. And the section they could take it out because the sections are incredibly good at firing on the move. And there you go, wiping retreating units. Which they're probably, I think, they're sort of like, out of all the basic infantry units, they're probably the best one. Rifle Squad is the second best. Sappers coming up here, Vickers setting up there. Medics from the north, heading up here to flank behind me and hit my calf point there, sneaky. Smoke grenade as well to cover up the attack. They're not quite enough. Machine being suppressed though. But that said, got a punch squad out here, just in time to replace the grenadiers. And flank the vacancy. Goodbye the louding their home to take it out. And narrowly almost gets it, but not quite. Meanwhile, North Roof's been cut off there by Zero as he switches in there. Punch moving towards the south. This south being pressed under 42, but they do get past it. Forcing the punch was able to deal with that. Preserve the integrity of the before Tree's attempt to. There we go. Sapper's routed. We need just a second to sort of stick around there before Tree remains here. He could try and move up here and chuck a grenade into it, but he's not doing that. Worth noting that. Machine gun wiped out. Need to crew that. Also further worth noting, actually S-mine this area in case he tries to dig up to surprise the machine gun crew there. They can't easily do that without, of course, risking losing units. Force crew that one, going for an armored car. I was tempted to go for the 251, I do prefer that one with the British. The AC there leaves it, I think, too risky. Couple points there being hit consistently by Zero. Certainly trying to make up for the early losses. Definitely a sensible tactic there by Zero. Sensible. Grabbing the point here in the north. Offsetting southwards. Armored car almost done. Punches there reinforcing.
Scout car has arrived.
AC almost done, got the 2-2 out. Obviously, again, the 2-2 isn't a particularly great choice either, but it has a slightly better chance of not getting completely knocked out by the AC right away. But again, maybe should have just gone for the 251, to be honest. Again, even with the AC out there, probably just kept it more safe, whereas for the 2-2 I'm more inclined to use it aggressively anyways. So, you know, maybe should have just gone for the 251. Anyway, something to consider. Honey saying for the center, obviously, I could consider some telemines if we had the munitions for it. I don't. Upgrading the one grenadier squad I have there with the veteran squad leader. Pioneers about to gain in the centre. We'll have to treat those soon. Rather schnell, in fact. Still, one thing I keep at least having some success with right now is at least I'm somewhat depriving them fuel. And there you go, armored car caught the AC. In fact, I'm caught through that spot where I can't easily get the armored car no matter what. So yeah, the armored car ultimately ends up being a, well, rather big waste of resources in the end rather than fortune. Again, ultimately, I probably shouldn't have bothered with it. I mean, that's just an accurate statement there. This is obviously a mistake for the armored car. I was maybe hopeful that, you know, he wouldn't go on for the AC that fast. But again, the Brits are always going to go for the AC fast if they feel the need for it, and they almost always feel the need for it because it's incredibly good. Pioneer's got a good chance of getting wiped out, but there's going to be double losses for me. That's going to be a rather harsh turn there for me. Swinging the match back in Zero's favour rather aggressively, and again, certainly highlights just how much firepower the Brits can bring to bear very swiftly, which can make matchups against them, well, rather awkward, and also hence why I think some players just prefer the snipers and keep them at distance, and that way bleed them out without trying to get too close to them. But personally, I just find snipers to be absolutely one of the worst ideas in Company's game design. I never quite understood why the sniper is necessary, and similarly, basically the big gimmick, and the British faction I feel also personally fall into this gimmick design. Like, they're just someone to say, you know, snipers are cool, let's do a further large gimmick faction. And, you know, that turned out to be absolutely a spectacularly bad idea as well, but that's a longer story. Pack 40 out there, though. Got the 74 trimming in there. So fast to say, though, I don't believe in snipers, and I will never ever use them. Period. Hell will freeze over before I use a sniper. That's the safest information. And Pack 40 filling up. Here we got more saps out there for Zero to replace some losses. S1's going off there. Doing, I suppose, light damage at the AC, but not much.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Centre south is secured by the British. He's also brought out a fresh section, so Zero quick to replace his losses. He obviously has got more infantry soon, though they also obviously just need more things in general. Section 40 with MD42. Back here, trick reinforcing healing for Zero. That should be good for next. And his punch moving about the centre. Pack 40 there, not quite pointing in a great direction into the AC there, and MD4 moving a bit further forwards. He's around the Pack 40, and 40 remains there statically. Pack 40 shoots and misses the AC with a spectacular roar. And there you go, calling in a Stormtrooper squad from the south. Master not finished by Zero. Bit of an oversight. 740 going to rush them before 2, but they're going to do right past the Panzerneers and see what they're doing. Skirmishes almost taking out the section. The south Stormtrooper using the point here, taking advantage of the fact he's focusing much in the centre. At the same time, I have enough force to hold the centre. They don't have to rush the Stormtroopers up right away. So that allows me to hit the southern points there. Panzerneers the south is attempting to. It does help they have minesweepers, so they can't do as much damage in return. Enforcing up again, plus the Panthers with their assault rifles, all fight some fire support there. Almost getting a sapper squad. There we go. Down into pixelated hell. section off the machine gun medic moving in up north info against there inside the building by the AC. Sabbath squad and John must down. Pack 4 need to fall back here. Panzer support their force retreat as well. Getting rather dicey up north. Pack AC moving in. This season southern fuel pump with a stormtrooper still. Maybe at this point should hit the north to assist here, but machine gun getting flanked. Pack 40 getting outmaneuvered. Continuing on to help deal with the infantry. Pack 40 gets a good hit there. Could also theoretically find to the rear of the AC, but the AC just keeps sniping the gunner. And the Pack 40 is getting focused down now by the section and the officer. Vic is joining in as well there. Pack's about to get wiped out. Rather painful. Troops reinforcing healing. Well, reinforcing. Got no half take out there. They're going to just can provide some healing though, but I may be a bit too preoccupied to spend time on that. Grenade off in the machine gun. That's going to be forced out. Almost wiped out, in fact. Back here, almost got the 7 points. So even as I'm losing ground in the north and losing units, I'm still, you know, keeping up some pressure in the south here. At least trying to punish them for that, because again, trying to take on a Brit blob head on anyways is typically not the best way to necessarily beat it. Pants going up, they pack, but then again, they're just getting murdered if they try it. So they just keep the pressure on the infantry nearby. Need to retreat that Pants position again. Troops reinforcing healing. The MD42, they also could get moving here, but yeah. Engagement ultimately not looking quite at my favor. Finally in the Stormtroopers, you can see some southern fuel and victory point here. We got 480 versus 422. Machine is being hauled forward. Pack's about to get destroyed. Then just keep fighting the good fight. And there you go, machine holding the Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers doing plenty of damage here. Stormtroopers are finding the good, just flankers, harassers, and of course, good assault infantry when used correctly. The MT-40s do a lot of damage. You get them into the effective range, and almost you can see they quickly bleed out the Tommies, forcing numerous units to quickly fall back. And in 2 minutes, you see they're doing incredible damage to the section. Ultimately, I do have to retreat them. But still, they were able to basically blunt the second wave of their Zero, ensuring he wasn't able to take advantage of the otherwise previous engagement too much. I, of course, am forced to go for the second Pack 40. I could consider Panzer-6, but I'd rather not with all the infantry, and I don't have enough infantry also, I think, allowed Panzer-6 anyways. So I'm sticking to like just keeping the Panzers assault troops, though theoretically I suppose we could equip the Stormtroopers with the Panzer-6. Oh, I need to somehow find some time to take up. That said, I got plenty of fuel. And Zero, while he's also getting plenty to a degree, he's also got a good chunk of the map, but I'm still getting slightly more ahead of him. He's going for weapon racks here, he's not taking up. MD4 sitting up there, Gunner's getting the point here, got the point there, keeping the machine guns covering each other, so at least they're not quite as easily rolled over by British infantry. In the south, Section again, took out the point there. Stormtroopers northwards, 4 kills, close veterans 1. The Panzer here with 13 kills are slowly approaching veteran 3. I could consider upgrading with the support package, never a bad idea. Mark target can be a handy ability against enemy infantry from time to time. AC fixed up. And turn into an armoured command vehicle here, which boosts nearby troops. Machine holding up there in the south, point grabbing. Attack on the way for me. AC setting out. Now the section here for Zero and the British Army, worth noting he has bolstered them now. And go machine gun joining in, though again I've got a second machine gun covering the first one, so there's defense in depth, meaning he can't easily make progress if he'd like to. Medicine from the northern point though, in the south though, Panzer moving in, there we go, do have the support package. That's set, they're going to get shredded here by the section with the Bren guns behind the first one. Storm from the back, they're going to catch the Sabs, deal with them. And go popping tactical advantage, increase the accuracy by 50%, which means the Storm MD4 do a lot of damage, though they also take a lot of damage in turn, so it's about how you time this ability. Like, incorrect timing will cost you the Storm to score, but correct timing can get your wipes. In a lot of cases, at least you do a lot of damage. In this case, while I could deal with the fuel point, I'm going to flank southwards here to assist. Meanwhile, continuing on piercing rounds here, very looked ability being utilised to further disrupt and punish the attack here by Zero and the British Army, planting and bleeding the guards arm. In fact, I'm close to getting a Vickers machine gun wipe here. Though the armoured car does provide a bit of support, but ultimately not enough support in the face of Deutschland. There you go, nabbing the Vickers. Should build this upon, of course, soon bring up another Pioneer squad because, well, I lost them. North, the medics got the point. We got the MD42 plus Panzers moving in. And of course, I now have a total of 3 machine guns versus Zero's none. He is taking up himself as well, though.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Grab the northern victory point. MD42 moving and pop into the building, I imagine. Flash Pioneer, Stormtroopers reinforcing. Close veteran 2. For the medics, losing a man to the medics. That's a bit awkward. MD42 up, trying to get into the building, but smoke screen off here. It's still getting suppressed. Could pop a smoke grenade himself for the stormtroop, or the Panzer Grenadiers. Since with the attack ability, they do get smoke grenades as well themselves. Getting flanked here. On the machine covering up here. So Pomacop prioritising that over reinforcing infantry, since I definitely want to push out some armour here versus Zero Zone. Section playing up behind here in the south, good manoeuvre there. At the same time, through here, the mine goes off the Grenadiers, causing 2 losses. Sabers moving in, machine force retreat as well here. Those Grenadiers flanking the section, got the AC armoured car moving in there. Command armoured car really well.
We are losing a sector.
Force
Our
retreat.
lines of supply are disrupted.
Machine gun storm sitting out there. Back to having almost no map control here. There's a Zero and the British Army. Pack machine gun pioneer setting out there. Heading for northern point. Taking up the machine gun, catching a pretty bad place. Should obviously have scouted ahead of it. And we got here the air resupply operation at 4-0, dropping in other supplies, but also a mortar and an anti-tank gun get provided as well for him. Well, power down, the bomb grenade off, not bomb grenade, gun bomb. Clearing out the machine gun neck, officer routed by the stormtroopers, machine popping in, up north, we got the pioneers with the section, obviously not a great engagement for me. Stormtroopers doing a lot of damage here, 10 kills, 52. Armoured car nearby, but won't be enough. Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers, enemy footing southwards there. Section rounds up north. I can soon go for a Panzer IV. Meanwhile, Zero has yet to push for armour. Interestingly enough, he could go for the Sentinel already, could also go for the Cromwell. Machine back here by Zero and the British Army. The Guards armoured, AC falling back, heading southwards there, going again aggressively for the fuel point. Car point being hit again. Stormtroopers reinforcing. And he's flanking here, and grabbing the northern fuel point there with the Pioneers. Down to 2 men, and they're setting out. Check them to the AC, punching about there, close to the AC level on those. Definitely good when they get there. Panzer IV's ever close, still no sign of armour here for Zero. I mean, the longer he delays, the better for me. If he's planning for a Comet, certainly a bit of a problem once it hits, but I can still maybe get some armour up to hit him on the field. Could push for a fast Stuke here, could go for the Ostwind. But in this case I'm going for the Panther Force, so shall say the slightly safe bet. I can always then follow up with the Stuke if necessary. And likely will. Storm's still holding up. Grab Northern Victor Point with the Pioneer, back here reinforcing. Got a mortar bag in action, he also got some air recons out, using the armoured car's ability for that. 50 nations. Used to be free, turns out that was a bad idea, they just spam it all the time. But there you go, Panzerkampfwagen 4 on the way. Finally slaying down to Telemont in case of a northern armoured rush. Machine gun repositioning, gonna these Panzer move about here. Pack 4 being hold forwards. Going for the mortar here, going for the car point for the munitions. Pack machine moving up, short panther almost done, rifling it off against the mortar, gets a wipe there. Machine definitely needs to fight, they're going to ride, they've got a big Renhalt there, backed up by Vickers. Further north here, we've got a bomb grenade in the section, landing a big boom, almost taking out the entire section, though several men survived, though they probably don't feel particularly great about it. Panther right about down section officers to the south here, putting up the advancing troops, but going to be tricky to see if it survives. Could lay down some sandbags to assist there. I think we're doing very good at smooching down. Panzerman from the north, Panzer IV has arrived. This is Deutschland, and the machine gun back here. Still nothing than Zero in terms of armour. It looks like he is aiming for the Comet, and there you go. Got the officer, definitely blow there. We got the Panzer flank as well, the suppressed troops. Panther IV charging in as well there. Charging, but there you go, bungling it off there. I'll get the retreat there, getting some wipes in. Didn't quite manage that. 6-pounder gun and AC there, didn't have damage to the Panther IV. Stormtroopers blazing the way forwards for the British lines. There's bullets. I'll go through it all. And there you go, again, it's in the piercing rounds. Again, very low ability, but again, used correctly, can add some real damage and certainly help engagement swing more in your favour. Plus, you just get your extra kills. Almost ace level there, Panther forward. Taking back to the smoke here, that there's Zero lays down, put more pressure on him.
Ready for orders.
Back here, troops reinforcing. Panther being pushed back again. Can soon go for another Panther Force from Stooks. Meanwhile, Zero's base continues not to go for any armor. Definitely a bit of a peculiar choice there, admittedly. Impactful about to be murdered out there, so I pulled it back too slowly. An obvious mistake by me. I mean, again, at this point, you shouldn't be surprised you're going to get hit by like a Brit Halt at any moment, so you know, shouldn't be keeping the Pack 40 that close to the front line without anything in front of it. Going to another Panther 40 here, though. Another Pack 40 destroyed. Heading for the southern fuel point with the almost ace-level stormtroopers. Zero. Finally going for some of these hammer tactics, so there will be comets. But arguably, could at this better timing at this point, they could probably like saved out there for a comet be going for that now. So definitely a bit awkward there. Not super stellar play there. Stormtroopers around it. Transmitting bound there. MG4 is holding up north. Panther 4 was done there.
What's next then?
Deutschland. Oh, once they got the two Panther Forces, I'll be backing them up with Stooks, forming up a nice flexible force there. With the Panther Force sort of acting as a breakthrough element, also just infantry dealing element with the Stooks backing them up there. Filling up, I think, an overall strong armored formation that I think can tackle most things. Panther almost got to go there. Finishing the northern points. Strange thing, 42 there. Baker's backing it up. Plus, of course, got the mortar there from Zero. Machine again in the ace level. Panther coming in. Each retreating before Drupal gets wiped. Flanking from the north here, sensing an exposed element there. Machine there retreating, but pushing it really close there. Panther for some reason decides to take the wrong path. Happens from time to time, like give a specific path, and for some reason, someone decides, you know what, they'll just take this shortcut. When expects the shell caught, protecting from all the bloody anti-tank guns. That was a bit annoying, but there you go. Hard push here, catching Zero off guard as his formation was quite exposed there. Destroying the anti-tank guns, grabbing medical supplies, just deny them to him. He probably wasn't using them, but you know. Routed, destroy the anti-tank gun. Pushing up here, Pioneer Squad's getting wiped out, and I lose another Pioneer Squad. Definitely sloppy play by me. Common almost done. Section in trouble. Going to retreat, heading the southern fuel point again. Sections the two Panther 4s. Puts your wipe here. And down they go. Zero here suddenly took some cost loss there again, leaving himself a bit too open. Remember, sometimes the best tactic is just to dive in with your tanks, disrupt the formation, then follow up with infantry to clear up the rest. But there you go, comment out and give the Zero. Obviously, again, you need to be mindful of you actually got infantry support, because if your tanks don't get stuck up, you're obviously in a lot of trouble. But, you know, again, properly support it, you can be in it quite nasty. Smoking off here. That's denying them easy access, also allowing my stormtroopers to close in. Coming up through the centre. I will definitely need some Stooks soon. Very soon. There's reinforcing. Pan's going to do setting out there with 20 kills to the name. Got air reconnaissance here from Zero again. Trying to figure out what I'm up to while I got hiding. Coming forward here. Pan's caught there. Half the squad gone in the blink of an eye. That's great for me. Great though for Zero. Charges into the AC there. Sniping and hitting the Panther 4. Conquering head here. Gets the pit of the Panther as well. Basically just engaging for now, since unless you can flank it, it's going to be very tough to deal with it. And currently, the sort of terrain we're in here, plus the saps, all the stuff back out, that makes it very difficult to flank, but there you go. Charges in with the comp perhaps a bit too far. Maybe give me an opening here to at least flank, but all in there and the opportunity is gone. So at this point, I just give ground, try to beat him out a bit, slow him down, and then, you know, set up for a counter-attack. Stormtrooper hunting himself, so he can hit the exposed south flank there, hopefully. Again, he tends to focus a lot on the center. As you might notice, like he focuses a lot. So, to an extent, just, you know, let it have it, and then just try to play around it. Stormtrooper hit here, could throw smart smoke grenade, but I could all just, you know, flank with the Panther and hope to hit them on the side there. There goes smoke grenade off. Plus a flank by the Panther Deers. North Panther Force being fixed up. I can go for the Stoop 3D now, and there you go. Baker's flanked. Go Stoop 3G. Comes rushing in there. And he is avoiding getting shot out there. And we go. Baker's routed. Stoop slowly arriving here. Panther Force taking a nasty hit from the Comet. The mortar firing down there. Stormtrooper squad almost wiped out here. Stoop slowly getting ready. We got front 12 as between 8-4. Both Panther 4s good to go. Double Panther Force getting ready. Just of course need the Stoop before making the push. Mines being laid down into 0, definitely not a bad idea.
They're trying to take it.
Also, you preferably get the infantry ready to support in any possible attack here.
The sector has been cut off.
Stug 3G ready, effect bereit. Pushing the beginning of the section, pinning them down to the ground like insects. Just getting ready here. North with the light skirmishes between the Pioneers and the Vickers, obviously very much Vickers favoured. 6-pounder gun plus another officer here for 0. Stug moving in, Panzer's officer moving in as well. Moving forward, Panzer's getting ready. Stug shoots, bounces off the Comet, and unless the attention's been drawn, Panzer's going to attack here from north. Stug to move further forwards. Panzer falling up here as well. Slightly being boosted here by his nearby Stug. Panzer moving forwards here. Taking advantage of the fact that the Comet is elsewhere, allowing other units to be alive here from any support. Hits a mine, but nonetheless gets the AC Mach 3 winning the command tank there. Stuping through here. Comet a bit of trouble perhaps, or maybe more likely, my Panther 4's in trouble. One Panther 4 the damn tank from the P8, moving up this shot bounces off the Comet's front armor. Needs to get the infantry up close to support. Storms for some reason pop into the building. Likely a misclick me, or obviously a misclick me, it's pretty difficult to tell. Doing all the fighting there. Storms moving up, but sadly not fast enough. Painful blow there, still managed to get the AC pushing back. And once more getting control of a good chunk of the map, more importantly, gain control of the fuel so you can just easily replace my armored losses. 6-pounder gun ready, but I'm mostly gone here, hitting the car point as well. And we got more field recovery sappers here for 0, charging forward with the Comet once more, going for another Stug first. We'll obviously go for another Panther for later, but there's the Comet. I definitely want double Stug. Double the Sturmgeschütz. Double the glory. But Dan said that. Probably not. But he should have said that.
Comet tank ready and waiting.
Come, they're going for the Panthers in the south, but still victory point being hit there. We've got 390, got 303. Second Stug almost done here. Second being ceased. Stug landing now setting the Comet, finally punching the hole through.
Points remaining. Point is being
Baker setting up there, machine gun falling back on his ground the point there. And there goes second Sturmgeschütz effect bereit. So reinforcing healing, he's probably going to go for more Comet here versus me.
Comet crew,
You're going to get one Comet, you're typically going to try and get more of them since you know they're pretty good. Officers are moving up. Stug moving forward here. Seeing as I know where this Comet is, taking advantage of using some headshots from the Stugs. Taking advantage of him being slightly careless with his formation stuff. Starting with the Stugs. Bit risky, but at the same time it works, There you go, got the Comet. If it was a Stug, I mean a Stug for a Comet, it's a pretty damn good trade-off. Plus in this case, I got a fragmentation bomb ready, so I also got some opportunity to take advantage of him. He's going to slips up him, for example, here. He's going to focus on my armor, so that he's not going to be paying attention to, say, for example, the troops. So get another wipe there with the fragmentation bomb, and the Panther on the Stug escapes. So yeah, I lost the Stug, but I got a Comet, I got another section. That's fairly decent mathematics.
Recovery teams are ready to salvage vehicles.
As always, when it comes to, like, you know, these sort of stuff there, your best weapon is just watch your opponent paying attention to, and then hit the stuff they're not paying attention to. In this case, obviously, a big armor push is a great thing to pay attention to. Whoa, he's getting a lot of fuel out of that, isn't he? But yeah, basically, you know, it's for them to, like, you know, try to catch their attention with something big, and then you hit them with a big fragmentation bomb on their own stuff because they may not be paying attention.
We're losing a capture point.
It's a bit like, you know, being an illusionist or, you know, I suppose pocket thief. You know, just abuse your opponent's attention span and then turn them against them. It's typically one of the better tricks. Need to fix up the armor here. Grab the southern point. Except, of course, most magicians or pocket thieves or whatever don't use fragmentation bombs or any other type of artillery. But that's obviously, you know, details. Fixing that Panther forward and the Stug. Pushing forwards here. And again, he remains very center-focused. Very center-focused, which again is what I also to an extent exploit here. Panther in the center section then, got another Comet here for 0. Another Panther 4 on the way. Storms pushing northwards. Fixing up the Panther 4, still of course also needs some repairs. Machine in there with 12 kills, ace level. Also, technically have a slight infantry advantage over Zero right now. Could, of course, try and expand upon with more infantry down there, which would be a very good idea there. Smoke's been off here from Zero and the British Army to come up and pushing the point there. We've got the Grenadiers to use the free field first aid ability here. One reason why I like German infantry. It's free! That's nice. It's not like it's that difficult to manage anyways.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
With the sappers suppressing them. Fixing the Stu, getting full through their ace level, of course. 13 kills.
Supply line's been cut.
And worth noting, Zero's not really trying much like flank or catch me off guard. He's just constantly pushing for the centre, you know, no matter what. Which again also makes it a bit easier to flank him, because we know he's utterly focused on that one. You also know he's likely not to be paying attention, at which point you can sort of hit those points with more aggression, more freedom. But there you go, second combat up to Zero. Got the northern point with the stormtroopers. At this point I could arguably free the machine gun up here. I mean, he's clearly not doing anything up there anyways, but I kind of forgot about it. Going here for deep flank with the Panzer Grenadiers and the Grenadiers. Stormtrooper pursuit with the Comet. Excellent. He's actually pushing northwards there, but there you go. He is extending in on its own. Flanks the two Panther forces in the street, storming towards the centre. Far southly with a deep flank by me. Storm's being caught by the Vickers. That's great. We do try to smoke grenade, but that doesn't work out. Common escapes here the wrath of the Panzer Wrath in the southie. Moving up here. Grabbing the southern points away from Zero. Again, he's focusing so much in the centre that obviously every gun is pointed there, which makes it very difficult to attack, but it also means his fuel point is consistently open to me. Enforcing. Got the Panther with the officer. Officer versus 8 Panther Grenadiers. Obviously not the greatest fight there for the officer. I mean, you can have all the stiff upper lip he wants to. You're not going to stiff upper lip against 4 assault rifles in the hands of some of the meanest men this side of Berlin. Takes out the Panther 4. Cromwell in for Zero. Got the southern point here. Cromwell heading southwards. A Comet. Going to send off the Grenadiers here on a slight mission to hide out here. Obviously should have sent it through there. Again, maybe it's another one of those panthering areas. Panzer 4 almost getting wiped out here. Comet almost not the entire unit. Yeah, I'm hiding out the Grenadiers in the south. That's a little special trick here. Since again, he's focused so much, if suddenly finds Grenadiers in his rear, I hope he kind of panics. Second Strug almost done, or at least gets further frustrated. In combination with a big attack, and again in particular that's coordinated with another fragmentation bomb. So there you go, 1 Strug ready, 2 Panther 4s, second Strug arriving. Panthers have been forcing. Second Cromwell almost done there for Zero. Seizing back the southern points here from the Germans. The Huns. So there you go. Nice little armoured formation here. Cromwell setting out there for Zero. Got another command vehicle just near some of the Cromwell. Moving in here and again. I'm going to attack from the north here because again he's focusing everything on here, so he's going to turn around to deal with it. It's going to be a slow reaction. At the same time, they're attacking the infantry from the south, which is further cause chaos. And on top of this, I got the fragmentation bomb. So you might notice I got the stormtrooper from the center, attacking point attention. There you go, fragmentation from the anti-tank gun. Stu Panther 4's landing great hits the Cromwell down to half health. Gonna use round for free there. Fragmentation bomb takes out the anti-tank gun and the Vickers. Gonna use, don't get the Panther fast off. One Panther 4 stunned, but the assault continues here. Panther tank from the north, the assault is not going. There you go, come down to half health, mine goes off. Panther 4 continues to attack right up to shooting the other Panther 4. Panther has the comic, damaging the engine. Mine goes off from the Panther 4, that's going to go down there. Nope, only gets abandoned, but is retreated here. Panther tank from the north finally. Stug there, Panther 4 with a main gun out there, leaving only the Stug's operable. But the Stug is all you need. The Stug is all you need, boy. There we go, Cromwell down there. Panther 4 escaping, all those opposite abandoned. Sam standing around the centre, Storm's moving through there. Obviously, I'm trying to keep everything going here, obviously. Even I have my limits, that's how much we're managing a battle here, obviously. But even then, in the end, I lost 1 Panther 4 tracker, a Comet, Cromwell, anti-tank gun, Vickers, and completely disrupted Zero's centre here. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of good attack tactics. Which I find tend to find is one of the rarer skills in the game. Like, a lot of people are great at micromanaging and all that, and, you know, doing this and that, but not a lot of them tend to be, like, really good at setting up, like, large-scale assaults like that, I find. Anyway, Storm to the right on the sappers, pulling back the armour. Stug there getting eventually 2 shots, 2 thumbs up. And I obviously lost more Pioneers. Again, I have to replace the Pioneers, because I really need to stop throwing away the Pioneers like an utter clown. Anyways, back here, reinforcing healing. Zero is in a fairly awkward place now. He has now been rather decimated. His forces are in disarray. The fields are littered with corpses and broken British tanks. And I meanwhile have a sizable armoured force. No comments. Season the southern point. Gonna do something out.
We have 200 points now.
Need to fix up the armour.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Fix out the Panzer IV. Panzer's holding up the southern victory point. Got 310 on 90. Sadly, there is no function to mute the opponent in the game, sadly. That would have been a nice feature to add, maybe along with the 64-bit update. Anyways, Panzer being fixed up. Stu's falling a bit back. Should obviously upgrade the second stupid machine gun as well. Does add some nice anti-infantry. Obviously caught here by the machine gun. And his Panzer from the south. They're going to flank him again. Senior opponents being added. And he's flanking from the other side. Stormtroopers on the move as well. Panzers are catching the sappers. Assault and Hold being pretty well timed. There we go. Assault and Hold, really good ability. Also look to find when people use German infantry again. Really good, really good. More people should be using that one as well. They're going tank cleared out. I mean, the Panther is just taking their way through his southern flank. They're storming head again. Also with Assault and Hold. If you combine this with tactical advance, by the way, they absolutely just melt infantry. You can notice there, like, they just get so much DPS. And that section, I think, is a very good likelihood of getting murdered out. Then this gets very lucky, which is not impossible. Yes, the British infantry, which again are thoroughly bulletproof. But even then, apparently they're not bulletproof to avoid Assault and Hold from Panzer and the Stormtrooper scored at ace level. And northern point, another Panzer IV on the way for me. Ground the southern point here. Seems as if they're going to do that. So there we go. At this point, I think the match is thoroughly won. I mean, you could still surprise me. The commander could, of course, still make some really dumb mistakes. Not impossible. It's not over until it's over, obviously. But assuming I don't do anything incredibly dumb, or my opponent, suddenly, becomes, I don't know, Wellington reincarnated or something like that, the match is, I think, fairly mine. Not a flawless match, obviously. I made some awkward choices and mistakes, and my unit processing times was not really sterling either. But I would say I fairly always played aggressively, and again, didn't like, just grind myself down in pointless engagements. Always looked out menu with my opponent, and again, so definitely had, I think, a nasty tendency for himself it is to overfocus in the centre, and not really fight well for the flanks to defend them very well, which again allowed me to make good pushes. But anyways, going for an Osman here to help deal with Infinity for the support weapons. Got another airdrop weapon here. That's going to be another anti-tank gun. He's probably not going for the second mortar. He's going for the other anti-tank gun here. Putting up to 2 here versus me, which is definitely not bad. Panthers running in there. Stormtroopers support. 26 kills, ace level. Panthers arriving. Sappers arriving, and the anti-tank is obviously thoroughly exposed here. Up north, Pioneers bringing the troops hanging back here. Osman almost done. And staying about to get host out the Stormtroopers. Easy. Lemon squeezy. Could move the Stooks and the machine take your stuff. But I haven't just fired max range. But again, I should move it close, and again, the machines actually do fairly well as an infantry. Anti-tank in their court.
75 points left.
75 points left. Cleared out.
One of our anti-tank guns is gone.
Troops moving in, destroying the anti-tank gun, denying it to him. Don't want to get it back. And destroying the other one. I was a bit concerned I might like to hit my own Panther IV with the double Stooks. That would be a bit awkward. But yeah, at this point, I mean, there we go. GG, game over. A loss there for 0. A victory for the German army. Again, highlighting the importance of good attack tactics and not focusing on the centre. And why I like Stormtroopers. Again, I find Stormtroopers really good if you know how to use them. But again, definitely made some mistakes here, but I think I fairly handled myself alright. This armoured car, that was a complete whiff, though. And obviously shouldn't have bothered with it. So, details. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, of course, donate. If you can, or pledge on Patreon would help me out a lot there. So do consider. And I should spread the word of the Propagandacast. Get the word out to as many people as possible. This is ImperialDane. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for a nice episode. Bye.